When I see you in the quiet of my mind, it is as though the world softens around me, and the weight of expectation lifts, leaving only the fragile pulse of recognition that has been waiting for centuries to awaken. Each glance imagined, each whispered thought of you, reverberates through me, like a river finding its course, inevitable and insistent, drawing me toward the warmth of your presence even when distance separates us. My days, structured and disciplined as they are, bend subtly around the gravity of your memory, and I find myself tracing invisible paths in the air as if to reach for you across the spaces that protocol forbids. Love, I have learned, does not submit to duty or ceremony. It flourishes in the interstices where the heart dares to claim what the mind cannot explain. And so I carry you quietly within the chambers of my being, letting your essence illuminate the shadows of responsibility with a gentle certainty that is both dangerous and exquisite. Even in silence, even in restraint, my soul stretches toward yours, recognizing a reflection that feels eternal and profoundly alive, a mirror of longing that no crown could ever diminish. There are moments when I walk through gardens designed to perfection, every flower poised, every pathway measured, yet my thoughts wander to you with a tenderness that defies formality. You inhabit a space beyond sight, a melody that hums beneath the cadence of my steps, reminding me that life, even in its strictest order, can tremble with a softness reserved for what is deeply cherished. The world sees only composure in me, a poised figure, advancing with unwavering grace. But within, a gentle unrest stirs whenever your name, unspoken yet insistent, brushes against my consciousness. The love I feel is neither token nor title. It exists solely in the quiet resonance between our hearts, a private language that escapes the scrutiny of expectation. My devotion is woven of moments unseen, of glances that linger in memory, and of breath held in anticipation of a closeness that defies the distance between us. And as I navigate the demands of duty, your presence, imagined or remembered, sustains me with a luminous promise, affirming that even a life structured by tradition can bend toward the sublime clarity of feeling that only you inspire. I was raised to walk with measured steps, to carry the weight of legacy without faltering, yet even such discipline wavers when I imagine the quiet depth of your gaze upon me. There is a warmth in thinking of you, a courage that blooms like a hidden spring beneath the surface of propriety, reminding me that the heart's truth requires no announcement to be undeniable. In public, I am expectation perfected, a reflection of lineage and duty, yet in private, you inhabit spaces unclaimed by the world, moments suspended between thought and breath, intimate and untouchable. Love, in this form, is a revelation, a gentle insistence that the soul knows its counterpart, beyond all reason, beyond all ceremony, and beyond all inherited obligations. The possibility of us existing together, outside of history's strictures, fills me with a lightness that feels like defiance, in the most tender way. I recognize you as one who sees me wholly, whose spirit mirrors mine, whose presence is a soft certainty in a world defined by restraint. And it is in this recognition, delicate and profound, that I find a joy both simple and immeasurable, a solace no crown or duty can ever provide. If words could be freed from etiquette, I would tell you that loving you feels like uncovering a chamber of my heart that has always been waiting, untouched by expectation, untouched by ceremony, untouched by the measured pace of royal life. Within that secret space, your presence shapes every quiet thought, every moment of reflection, each breath a subtle acknowledgement of the bond that exists, unseen, profound, and unwavering. I carry my responsibilities with devotion, yet even in the midst of protocol, your essence threads through my consciousness, a reminder that tenderness belongs to no lineage, no legacy, and no crown. The love I feel is not ostentatious nor performative. It exists in silences, in the imagined brush of your hand against mine, in the memory of smiles that speak without words, in the anticipation of a closeness that transcends space. My heart, trained to serve, discovers that its truest duty is to recognize the resonance that we share, a quiet certainty that aligns with something ancient, intimate, and sacred. And so I hold that recognition delicately, allowing it to illuminate the world around me, knowing that what is most precious cannot be claimed by title, but only cherished, revered, and understood by the soul itself. I have learned to measure my steps in public, to speak in tones softened by propriety. Yet thoughts of you break through with the insistence of a dawn that cannot be contained. You exist as a quiet revelation, a constant whisper beneath the structured rhythms of my day, reminding me that love is not merely an adornment, but a force that shapes the very core of existence. In every gesture of composure, there is a shadow of yearning, a reflection of the heart that knows what it seeks even when the eyes must remain vigilant. Our connection, though unseen, feels like the collision of destinies, an alignment of spirits that predates the confines of time, echoing in places where only memory and hope reside. It is in these private recesses that I find freedom, a soft surrender to the truth that my soul has recognized yours long before the world could. Even amidst ceremonies and expectations, your essence threads through me, an enduring warmth that softens the rigid contours of duty and reminds me that love, in its purest form, asks only to be acknowledged, to be felt, and to be held tenderly within the quiet chambers of the heart, where no crown or decree can ever reach. Every evening, when the light fades over the horizon and shadows stretch like whispered promises, I imagine you beside me, sharing a silence that requires no explanation, no protocol, only the simple presence of recognition between two hearts. There is a richness in these imagined moments, a depth that cannot be mirrored by any ceremonial splendor, for they exist in a space entirely our own, unbounded and intimate. My duties demand precision, every gesture measured, every word considered, yet within me your memory dances freely, a quiet rebellion of the heart against the strictures imposed upon me. The love I feel is neither fleeting nor performative. It is a constant, a hidden current that shapes the rhythm of my breath, the cadence of my thoughts, and the contours of my private joy. I hold on to it as one might clutch a rare and precious artifact, aware that the world outside may never understand the magnitude of what thrives within. It is in this sanctuary of recognition that I find courage, that I find beauty, that I discover the profound truth that my heart, though bound by duty, beats most vividly for you alone, a revelation both tender and unassailable. In the quiet corridors of my mind, your presence lingers like the scent of an unseen flower, subtle yet undeniable, filling spaces that the world's expectations could never occupy. I have walked through halls lined with history, draped in the weight of tradition, yet your essence brings a clarity that softens even the most rigid forms, a reminder that love exists beyond performance, beyond lineage, beyond all inherited obligation. There is a courage in feeling this way, a courage that flourishes quietly when no one else can witness it, a steady flame that illuminates the contours of my heart. Every glance I imagine, every word I whisper silently in your direction binds me closer to the truth I have long carried, that our souls recognize one another in a manner that defies explanation, that transcends time, that demands only the honesty of feeling. It is a love that cannot be forced, cannot be measured, cannot be constrained by crowns or expectation, and yet it grows resiliently, tenderly, insistently.